And even
Alexa, pause. Hello, 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 and good evening, everyone. Happy Boxing Day. Welcome to Live and Learn with Gemini Goddess. My guest today is going to be Paulette Bow. Paulette is known on social media as Lauderhill Mom, Autism Mom. She's also an artist. Um, she's a woman of many hats, many talents, and she's going to be coming on tonight and joining us. And she's going to be sharing some information with us, letting you know how she became Autism Mom, how she became Lauderhill Mom, working with the homeless, and so on. So let's welcome Paulette to the stage. Paulette.
Yes, hi.
Hey,
Thank you for
darling. How
having
are
me.
you?
Thank
Of
you for
course.
having
Thank you for
me.
joining us. So, just go ahead, introduce yourself to everybody. I kind of gave a little bit of intro, but better when you introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Paula Bow. I'm the autism mom. I'm the community mom in Lauderhill, Florida. Um, I'm an artist in every sense. I can draw people on the spot. I do face painting, and I'm a singer. And all of this, I feel like God gave me to pull people, because people are looking for things that's gonna excite them. So these are the things, some of the things that I do, because like I work with AI too. I do some crazy stuff.
We're not going to get into the whole AI thing because we'll take up the whole night talking about that. So we'll just leave AI, and we want to keep our little secrets to ourselves too. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
And you know how
Yeah.
you and I get when it comes to the AI conversations.
No, girl, listen to me. I know what to talk about and what not to talk about. That's one thing I know. I don't know if you pick up that, but I
Yeah.
know what to say and what not to say. Because I'm the, you can see me and people see me and they don't know there's a lot of things behind me. I'm a woman of unction. But just not just run up my mouth. You know that.
Yeah, well, me, I'm just here giving out information here, left, right. I'm learning, though. I'm learning. Getting there. I'm not there yet, but I'm learning. I'm getting better.
No, I think that none of us are there, Mama. I don't think that none of us are there, but as long as you try, I think it's all possible if you try and get around people who's on the same path. We always talk about that.
Okay, so you know what? As I was saying before, there's a lot of layers that makes Paulette, and you and I, we've talked about all of it, and we've been in each other's sounding board, and like I tell you all the time, you are a very inspirational person to me, based on the
Aw.
things that you do. And I think, like you could have so much to help. Like one of the things that I really want to touch on is the autism. And so you want us to start off there, and then we can move on to other things after. But I really want to touch board with autism, because even though there are a lot of resources out there, there's still a lot of people that don't know much about autism, and there's a lot of stigma about it. And I
Right.
also, I've been doing my own little research about it too, because like I know quite a few people in Jamaica who have autistic kids, but they don't know where to get the help from. So I do have some information for the people in Jamaica of places where they can go to get help, and websites that they can reach out to. So anybody who needs that information, they can always DM me and I can give you that information. But before we start, I just want to mention there's the JASA, that's the Jamaican Autism Support Association, and they do have an email address, jasa.jm2k9@gmail.com. And also their phone number, 876-776-6827. Message me. I can give you the information for that. There's a JAA, the Jamaican Autism Association, and the Jamaican Council for the JCPD, which is the Jamaican Council for Persons with Disability. Of course, we know here in Canada, there's Autism Canada, there's Carrie's Place here in Ontario. Like, overseas, they have more resources. There's Autism BC, Aid Canada. In the US, there's Autism Speaks, Autism Society of America, Parent to Parent USA, so many different centers and places there. But I always suggest to people like Paulette, make sure you study and learn yourself, because not all those associations are there. And especially us, we have to be mindful and be alert and know everything that we're getting ourselves into. So, and with that being said, Paulette, do you want to share a little bit of your experience?
Okay, where you want me to start?
Wherever you feel comfortable.
Okay, so I'm the autism mom, I'm the community mom, and there's a reason for that. You know, like, this is very personal to me. It's something that has touched my home, has touched my marriage, has touched me personally. And I'm gonna put you in the link. I don't know if later. I started a school with all the experience that I've been through with my son who's on the spectrum. And I wrote a book on it because I just needed to get it out. And sometimes you're talking to people and they don't get it. I I don't have any family here. My family's in Canada, and when I started to discover that my son was on the spectrum, I didn't understand the politics of it. I didn't understand what that meant, and I was taken through the ringer. I was taken through the ringer, and I think by the grace of God, I actually came out with my mind. And I know that there's a lot of people like going through it right now. And I want to tell you, there's a lot of politics to it. And you have to have a discernment as to what is true and what is for you. My son is on the spectrum. I found out like when he was like 15. I knew that something was, but you don't want to believe that. But I tried my best with him. The school kept telling me, and I was like, no, 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 no. Then after I started to accept it, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna work with you, but there's certain things I'm not gonna do, like the medication. We could go on and on about that. I was gonna uh, take help, but be careful what I take, because I know that mental illness and autism is a lot of money. Sometimes they diagnose you and your child don't have that. Sometimes it's just a speech impediment and they turn it into autism, into iceberg, and because, and a lot of people don't know this, and I talk about this in my school. Every child that has an issue, it's $10,000 each child. So the school, sometimes it's something very small, and they'll tell you, okay, this child, da da da. That means it's $10,000 for the school to have speech, to have behavior therapy, to have uh, all the services that they have. That means each child is getting $10,000 each. So to me, you have to be careful about the
Yeah,
help that you
because
take.
they will try to put your child, like, that's one problem I have with the school system, especially, is like they like to put kids into a box. And if you don't fit into that box, then there's something wrong with you. And then It's not always the case. The thing is, everybody learns differently. When I was younger, I was put into that box as well. Like, they thought there was something wrong with me because I learned differently than everybody else. Because I'm not the type of person where I can sit in front of you and you tell me A plus B is C. No. For me, you gotta look at me and say to me, okay, this is A, this is B, now go figure out what C is. But if you tell me it, I'm also there, especially when you go on and on and on and on. I'm going to get distracted, and everybody around me is going to get distracted because I recently got diagnosed. Apparently, I've OCD, and OCD is not obsessive cleaning disorder, by the way, people. OCD is obsessive compulsive disorder, which it falls under a lot of different things. And I didn't know that. And all the time I hear people say, no, I'm OCD. I always thought it was like some cleaning thing. And yeah, I do like to clean, but apparently my OCD it falls into different categories, right? So, you know, we all have our things, but people always have to have a name for it.
Okay, and what I wanted to say, and you just kind of touched on it, there's a spectrum. Like some people think disability and they're like, oh, you're going like this and this. No, there's some people that is high level, high functioning. There's even people like in the workforce and they're on the spectrum, they have autism. But back in the day, you weren't diagnosed. People will just say, oh, something wrong with a pit there,
Especially
But
Caribbeans and Jamaicans. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
I bet people
and
did. I bet a lot of people didn't know that Einstein had autism.
all of them had autism. How look how brilliant. And
Hmm.
I think I'm just saying, I think it's a gift, but it takes people like me, like other people that's working to kind of develop that gift, to structure that gift. This is what I was trying to do with my son. Oh my God. I went through so much, with him. And I don't know if you know the stunt, the story of Ann Keller. You know
Yep.
the story?
Hmm.
That was me, man. That was me. But I wouldn't give up on it because that was my only child. And I'm not gonna just give you to the system just because the system says whatever, whatever. And they always say that we have an issue anyway. And I wasn't about to give up on my son. And I fought tooth and nail for him. And I'm still doing that. I'm still doing that. And there's people that they call me every day. Oh, look, they might beat me up, woman for do, woman for do, woman. And I tell them, the different the different programs that they should go through, the different things that they should do, the different process, and it is a process. What I'm gonna do, you may not want to do, but I don't judge nobody, and I don't want nobody judging me, because unless you're in a situation, you're gonna know what it really is. And it really taught me not to judge people and to be patient with people. Like you said,
And
not everybody learn at the same pace.
yeah, and some people are like so like one thing I need to tell you people because I didn't even know that some people believe that autism is not a disease and it is not contagious. There's people who fear bringing their children around other people with autism because they feel like they're going to catch it. It is not like the common cold. It's a neurological disorder. And I wouldn't even call that a disorder. It's just things aren't
Challenge.
wired where everybody else how everybody else like the wires are crisscrossed a little bit. And sometimes that's autism. Like a friend of mine, her son has autism, and she considers that his superpower because he's high function autism, but extremely intelligent. It's just he is very particular about things. He's very sensitive when it comes to certain things touching him. Things have to be in a certain type of order. He needs like something to focus on. Like he sits, like he has to have his
Structure
fan with
and
him. Yes.
sensory challenges. Yeah, I've been through that.
Yeah. So it's
I've been
just, it's like, it's not a disease. It's not contagious. They're not handicapped. They're not, missing a chromosome or anything like that. Not that there's anything wrong with people like that, but it's just people like to, you need to study it and understand it.
Yeah.
And there's
So
a lot of people who have autism that you don't even know
I was telling
because,
you,
yeah.
the workforce, some of them, the way they behave is because they have autism that's being diagnosed, undiagnosed. That's what I want to
Hmm.
say.
Yeah.
So, I talk about it in my book and also in my school, um,
And by
about
the
the
way, that's
different,
SKOOL, people, not like school, like actual class. It's a website school, SKOOL.
yeah, I'll put it in the link. But yeah, I decided that I'm gonna take change or turn my pain into power. Because there's no way I'm gonna go through violence and all this stuff, and I'm just gonna like not. And these people, they're making money off of autism. I'm telling you, the minute you say autism, you can make a lot of money.
You see
There's
the
a
dollar signs,
lot of grant,
doctors,
and if
schools.
you're doing something to help, like a lot of people just collecting, but if you're doing something to get you and you're to help, like for real, then I have no problem. But some people just collecting. All you gotta say is
Hmm.
write a good grant, and you're good. But it is what it is right now. Yeah.
But if you do feel like, if you do suspect that your child or someone around you is on the spectrum, or you're confused, there are resources and websites that you can go to that will help you and show you where to go to get the diagnosis. And hint, hint, I stay away from AI, but listen, all my information I get from Chat GPT. Big up Chat GPT, because y'all know that's my best friend. I just put in a little information and Chat GPT directs me where to go. But yeah, we're not gonna go there because I can go on all night about Chat GPT.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. Um. Well,
But
I wanted to. Okay, go ahead.
no, no, go ahead, go ahead.
I wanted to touch on autism and homelessness, mental illness, and
Not sure what happened there, but you're frozen. Um,
to New Beginning, Man Up Ministry, my church, Behind the Veil Ministry. These are all the people. A New Beginning, she gives me food to give out. So I was like feeding like once a week, but now I can do twice a week because of her, Lorraine. And then Eddie, that's Man Up Ministry. Anybody that's come out of jail, he helps them to re-enter the society, and I'll be working with them very closely because the police officers and them have to be trained, because a lot of times when you call the police officers, they're coming with force, and we need mental health professionals. So when I call and I lost a job because they said I call 150 times, I always say he's on the spectrum. I don't need a police officer really. I need a mental health. That I feel like if I didn't say that, I wouldn't be here today. My son wouldn't be here today because they're gonna be sending out people with force. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. But I didn't. Oh my goodness! I'm on the. Okay, Philip. I'm on the radio. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So what was I saying?
you were talking about your experiences losing the job because you had to call.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I had to I lost a job because the lady said that I called the police. That this is when I just started out. with autism, right? I didn't understand, and I get calling them, and then sometimes they would come forcefully, and I'm like, no, I need a mental health professional. Okay. My husband didn't understand that. So he told the police officer nothing is wrong with my son. And there's a lot of people out there, like there's one person, parent who understand, and the next one don't. The next one don't. And they're fighting. This is what's happening to me. Fighting. I'm always fighting. I lost the job because the lady said, you call the police. Your husband said that there's nothing wrong. And we just can't have, because you've called the police so many times on
Your volume's done.
sorry.
No problem.
Yeah. So yeah. So I've been through so many things. Right now, my son, because he's high functioning, he's living on his own and he's working, but he has to come back home because um, he eats so much that he's always short on rent. And the lady says, we try to, let her know that, $800 is what he can pay, but she says that he needs to go because, she could get 1,000. So now he's gonna come back home. I'm gonna tell you this, y'all. I'm only telling you because I know that there's a lot of people going through this. I'm only telling you only this. Folks, I'm gonna have to go to a shelter. I'm gonna have to go to I'm gonna have to sleep in my car. And which is what I used to do before he left, because he was very violent towards me. And when I call the police, like if I say autism, they just automatically decide that it's me. My husband, he's against me because he decides that it's not. And I'm not looking for no man, y'all, because that's why I don't like to talk about it. Because when you talk about it, you see a whole bunch of people in your box. Oh, I'm not looking for that. I'm just trying to show you the sacrifice that some people have to go through just to make it. The things that people go through, and you don't even know what they're going through, but they're going through it, right? I am the community mom, but this is what I'm going through. I am the autism mom. This is what I'm going through. I'm the Sunday school teacher. This is what I'm going through. I'm the street. So you look at people, some people, they get so jealous of people, but you don't know. Could you even look at me? Son, come back next month, I'm going to be homeless. You wouldn't even imagine it, right? But that's what's going to happen because I can't stay.
Okay, well, we're not going to speak that into existence, because one thing that I know is you speak something into existence, it will come too. Not sure your internet or something is, but you're... Okay, well, we're just going to give her a few minutes to come back in. I'm not sure what's going on with her internet. Paulette, can you still hear me, hon? Okay, well, I'm just gonna give her a few minutes to come back in. But me personally, I don't believe in speaking. I believe that what you speak out is what comes your way, like speaking things into existence. So we speak positivity, we get positivity around us. If we speak negativity, we get the negativity. So I try to live in the positive and try to speak positive and manifest positivity. And I don't know, that's the way I function, and that's the way that I work with things. I'm not sure what's going on with her internet. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm not sure exactly what happened with her internet, but I'll give her a few minutes to come back in. But yeah, like I was saying before, there are some resources out there for people with autism. There's Autism Canada here in Canada, where can you hear me? Okay, hon?
Yeah, I was actually here all the time. And then I heard you say, "Oh, I'm gonna give her a moment to come back in." But I was actually here. But I think the internet was giving a little issue.
Okay. All right. So welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay. We explored the autism, and now there's also so we were leaning more towards you were talking about the homeless. So you want to continue on
Yeah,
that?
yeah. A lot of people who are on the spectrum, mental illness, it's hard for them to connect with the society, connect with a job, connect with family members, connect with just the things that we take for granted. So sometimes they get into a situation where they're locked up. When they're in jail, a lot of things happen to them. When they come out, they keep going back in because they can't connect with the society. That's why we have to be very patient, and we need more mental illness professional to help these people get connected with the society. And that's what I'm working with. It's called Man Up, Man Up. Big up to Eddie. He's the one, like he helps you to connect with different resources. The 700 Club, and everybody in there. Lorraine is doing food pantry. Um, Eddie is doing like if you have issues with I don't know expungement, like if you need to um uh expunge your record. And then there's me, and I do like I use, because I'm an artist, I use art to help you to get out what's in here. A lot of people have this in here, and I'll use it like an art piece, like a tree, um it comes from the root. And there's some people that you have to keep, and some people that you have to let go. And there's seasons, like I use a tree to explain to people the process of life. Not everybody's gonna go where you're gonna go. Some people, you gotta let them go. And when they be talking, because people, it's so many different legs. People be talking, "Oh, just lick him." How you gonna hit somebody with mental health? Come on. you know? And some people say, it's because you're not a good parent. You know? Like so many things they say, but who cares what they say? You have to understand. You have to do what's best for you. You see what I'm saying? So the homelessness and mental illness is strongly connected. And that's why I'm the street mom. That's why I'm the autism mom. I'm always trying to give awareness. I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube, I'm doing music, I'm doing poetry, I'm doing face painting, I'm drawing people because, and I think we're going to touch on this. People love drama. People love drama. And I'm not going to dance. I'll sing, but I'm not going to dance in that. So I have to find other ways to help people to be attracted to me. So that's what I do. I do art, music, and sometimes people like you. Thank you so much for inviting me, so people can understand, who I am. Because people see I'm doing a lot of stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, but what is she doing? One minute she's doing this, because I got to do a lot of stuff because I'm not gonna dance. I'm not gonna dance and show my booty. So I got to do a lot of stuff. I work harder. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep. Yeah, you ain't gonna jump through no hoops for anybody, and you're authentic. You know what? You might do a million different things, but guess what? Those million different things, they all intertwine and make you that one person who you are, and they all are part of the mission and all a part of the purpose. And just because other people don't see it does not mean that, you know what? Look hard enough, and then you will see. Like life,
Right.
it's like people like you and I, we're like a puzzle. There's different pieces that come together to make a whole. And, some people only see this one part of the puzzle and they think that's all there is. And a lot of us are like that. We have so much different things about us, but when they all come together, that makes the authentic thing. And not everybody is going to see all of the different pieces, right? But without all the different pieces, we're not who we are.
And I'm starting to understand that they don't have to see it. It's okay that they don't see it, because the vision is for you. It's not for anybody else. So if they see it, that's good. And if they don't, but you got to keep going on, because this is why you're here, right? If you're not living if you didn't find your purpose. My purpose, your purpose is, what you're doing right now. You're telling, make people tell their story, provide a platform that people could tell their story, and through music, through talking to you. And my thing is to make people aware about mental illness, through what I've been through what I've seen. So we're on purpose. So for other people to see it, it doesn't really matter.
Not to mention, your purpose is also is to hit a hell of a note, girl, because you can sing. Don't hide that part.
Thank you. Oh yeah, I have my music on YouTube, on Disco Kid. Oh my God, my kids, when I go to Sunday school, when I go like different places,
I'm
you know what
still
they're
here.
playing?
1 second, darling. I'm still here. I'm still hearing. I just have to step away for 1 second, but keep talking. I'm hearing every word you're saying.
Okay, so my kids, the song that they like and they always playing, I'm like, we're in church, honey. Why are you playing that song? And the song that they always play is "You Took My Man From Me." And I'm like, no, you have to play "Help Me Help Myself," "Take It by Force," but they always want to play "You Took My Man From Me" in church. And I'm like, don't do that. But they always, how kids are, whatever. So I always get a kick out of it when they
But I
but
told
I
you
mean,
that song, right? That song, you took my. The reason why people always play that song is because people connect to that song, right? That's as much as you're trying to get your other songs out. That's your signature song. Because remember the first time you performed that song for me, I was like, okay, who is she? Let's go. Earrings on. Like, you need to tell me who she is, because people connect. People like drama, and that song is like a dramatic song, so people like get into it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's actually why I did it. But sometimes I'm like, yeah, but that's not what I want to do. But I know I have to do it to draw them in. Like you always tell me, because you know your stuff. You have a good ear, and then you're very what's the word for you? You have a good discernment, you know? So I trust you. You know what I'm saying? So I put it out there, but that's not, I just put it out there because I want to pull people, but really what I want them to listen to is my song, "Take It by Force," and "Help Me Help Myself," you know, which I was inspired by this guy. He was like, some people just need a little help. And that's where that song came about, about. And "Take It by Force" is like, right now I'm taking my life by force. That song was really for me.
Yeah,
But
but as soon as you say take it by force, people, especially people in the Caribbean community,
listen,
they taking
don't even
it
start, man.
somewhere
Don't start, man.
totally
Because
different.
this guy told me, he was like, if you said "take it by force," "take it by force," and wind up yourself, that's gonna be a #1 record, my girl. And I was like, no, that's not what I want to do though. Everywhere I go, they say the same thing.
Yeah,
Just
I was talking to someone about you one time, and I was telling them, like, some of your songs and stuff like that. I mean, when I said take it by force, that sounds kind of rapey, doesn't it? I'm like, it's not that. No, we're
they
not
always
going
looking
there.
for
It's not
drama.
that. But you
Oh
know
my
what? If that
God.
title makes you think that it is, go listen to it, because you know what? At least that it kind of draws people in when they hear that. They're like, take it by force. Okay. They get it. And maybe they'll be, once they hear it, they'll be like, that's not what, but it will attract some people. So sometimes you have to do that type of stuff to
I know.
play on,
That's what
to get.
I tell people all the time, like when I talk about it, I'm like, you see, Gemini, y'all underestimate her. She's brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I'm telling you, this queen is brilliant. People need to take a closer look at you.
Because, darling, the thing about it is, it's like, you know what? You have to, thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is, it was like after years of studying people and watching things and being on, on social media, a lot of people go on social media and they're just like all about the hype and this and that and that. And as much as I'm involved in things, I sit back and I watch and I study things. I'm talking and I'm there, but I'm studying everything, and I realize and I see what goes on. And I realize like social media is about drama. It's about all sorts of different things. Social media, basically, for most people, especially on TikTok, that's where you act out who you want to be in life, right? And there's people like us, and I know that I will never be a popular TikToker, and I will never be famous, and I won't have a lot of people followers on TikTok because
Well,
I'm
you were one
authentically.
point when you were rich and you had give up money. Remember?
My girl, I was never rich. I listen.
That was
I
back in the
I
day.
Yeah.
You
No,
helped
I
a
was
lot of
highly
people.
supportive. I was highly supportive of a lot of people on the app. And I don't, and the thing about it is, a lot of people like, I spent so much money on there and and I regret nothing, because here's the deal about it, right? I
Don't say
did,
that.
listen, I've
Don't
had
say
some
that.
experiences, and I did support a lot of people, and a lot of the people that I did support, they turned out to be not what I expected. But you know how they say you got to kiss a lot of frogs before you find your Prince Charming? Listen. Well, I'm not talking about relationship wise, because I found my Prince Charming. I got him. We good. But I'm talking about even with people in life, like in
Oh
TikTok,
my
right? For
God.
every 100 people that you meet, you'll get maybe one genuine person out of it, if you're lucky. And I've been the lucky person that maybe for every 100 I've come across, I've met 10. So you know what? I've walked away, and
That's about
even some of the one, and I've been the type of person, and my experiences with people where I've invested a lot of time, a lot of energy into those people, and then a lot of people would be like, "Oh, Gemini, you walked away from that a loser because you got nothing." Wrong, 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 wrong. Gemini always walks away a winner, because when I walk away with either knowledge, experience, or even just knowing of what not to do the next time I come across. But you know what? Every time I come across somebody now and I see certain things coming, it's like, okay, warning signals. And I start backing up because I learned my lesson. So I always walk away a winner. And I tell people all the time, God don't play about me. So you see, when you cross me and you mess with me, especially I've been a genuine person to you, I ain't got to do
mm.
nothing, because God and karma is a black woman and she don't play about me. I'm just telling you all that.
Hey, you know what? I wanted to talk about because and before because you said you wanted to talk about it, and I wanted to talk about the artist and not getting paid.
Most definitely, that is a line that needs to be touched on. And we're definitely going to have a conversation on that, because I get where you're coming from, but I also have some opinions on that too. So let's just hear your part, and then I will tell you my opinion.
Okay, and I know what you're gonna say, and you're right. I've heard it. Okay, so there's some artists out there, and I mean, oh, big up to Dickie Ranks. I tell you, Dickie Ranks is the one that got me in the artist arena, and he goes everywhere. Every open mic, he goes to it. So when I was talking about him, I was like, you guys need to really big up Dickie Ranks, because He's on every open mic and he goes to every restaurant and big up the restaurant and make sure the people them come because Dickie Ranks is going. Now there's a lot of artists, right? And I know they have to support the restaurants for the people to come to, because that's the game. But I'm just saying, even if you don't pay them, I'm saying you can feature them. One artist a month. Just feature them and give them a little $80, a little $100, maybe something that they'll say, yeah, man, studio time, something. Now the artists, a lot of them, money make money, and a lot of them just want everything free. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. You have to put your. Remember the guy that Marvin. Oh my God, I don't remember his name. I had to pay for that. You gave him to me. I had to pay for that, and there's a lot of other people that I have to pay for.
Oh,
So
mellow
my
vibes
thing,
you're talking about.
yeah, they're like, when I
Because
was
it's
on
their
there,
business, darling. It's
they
their
said,
business.
"Lot of Imam, you should make it. Lot of Imam boss, but it take more than that to boss. You have to put your money
Exactly.
where your mouth is. You understand? And if you have somebody that's behind you, pushing you, and you know what I'm saying, you have to support that person too. It's a, one hand wash the other. But I still feel that we have to support the artist and the artists have to support the producer, and we can't be bad mind. We have to be supporting each other to get to the next level. That's where I am right now. I'm done. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Okay. And what I got to say, I'm going to get in there now because I'm going to say this. One thing, see, with a lot of the artists is this, right? Yes, artists do need the support. But when artists are going out and doing things, there's a little thing called a contract. Make sure whatever you're doing, no matter how small it is, you've got a contract. So you don't know your worth and put it on paper. Know what you're willing to give and what you're willing to get. Don't just go out there expecting people to just hand you things and do things for you and have an expectation that this is how. That's why a lot of artists, they need management. They need proper management. I'm not putting it out there because I ain't managing nobody else. I'm not good, but you need to find one, you need to learn the industry yourself. And two, if you don't, you need to have proper management that can help negotiate things for you and get you started. And three, it is your damn career, not your manager's, not anybody else's. So you need to put in the work, because if you need to put in the work and you need to put in the money, because if you're not paying for certain things, because ain't nobody doing nothing for free anymore. So you need to put the work in. You need to
Yes.
negotiate for yourself, and there shouldn't be, and don't think just because you got a voice, you are an artist. No, you are a singer. An artist is
Everybody got a
somebody that
voice.
knows how to perform, that knows how to draw a crowd, knows how to interact with a crowd, knows how to put yourself out there, you know? An
Yes.
artist, and the thing about it is you have to be an all round. You can't just be a studio artist. There are artists that can go into the studio and they can go on the mic and they can perform like crazy, but when they go in front of a crowd, everybody falls asleep.
Right. You
You
gotta
have
be
to be all,
a
you have to be.
performer.
Exactly. And you can't be an artist. You have to be ready to perform at all times. You could be there and somebody is playing opera
Yeah.
music and you are a dancehall artist. Guess what? You listen to that opera beat and then you start busting your dancehall to the opera and you do your thing. You have to be, and you have to find your niche. What separates you? What makes you special? What makes you different than everybody else?
Yes.
You
Yes.
have to have that. That's a
That's another thing. A niche. Everybody talk about niche. When I got on school, because I do a lot of things. I can help people to write their books. So, and I get, autism, teach about autism. And this one lady was like, you got to find your niche. You can't be all over the place. You got, and so I just settled with autism because that's what I go through every day. So that's why on school I do autism. My book on Amazon, autism, because I'm the autism mom. But I could do a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? And I feel like I feel like people should write their story because that's your legacy, and
Yeah.
nobody can tell your story like you. And a lot of people tell you story, and they lie. They lie. Some of them lie, and you have to tell your story. So I have my story in a book. I have my story like just all over the place because I need to let people know this is what happened. This is what I saw. This is why I did what I had to do.
Okay, but you know when somebody says to know your niche, so okay, so you're autism, but like you and I talk about it all the time, right? You know, autism is your niche, but you
Mhm.
wear a lot of other hats. What you need to do and what we're gonna be working on is we're gonna be using that's your foundation, that's your base, that's your niche. But
Mhm.
everything, like we said before, everything else about you all kind of ties into that. Like,
I try my
yes,
best. I just me alone, you know. I'm managing myself.
and
I don't
that's
even know
okay.
what I'm
And you
doing
know
right
what?
now. I'm
Sometimes you need to manage yourself because nobody knows you better than you, right? It's just you need to center yourself. Someone wants to know what is the name of your book.
the name of my book is Ability in Focus, and it's on Amazon, and it's about my struggles and some tips. So yeah, it's on autism. I don't know.
We're gonna
I'm
be
trying to.
posting. We're gonna be
Yeah, I'm
posting a lot
putting
more links. We're gonna be posting
yeah, I'm
links to
putting
that on Facebook
but
and YouTube
but if
and well, not YouTube, on Instagram and stuff like that. I'm gonna be helping her to advertise her stuff a lot more because she does have a lot of listen, this lady will even teach you how to trade. She got it all. She's like a well-rounded package. It's just to get it all
and
focused.
I have a book.
And she has a book on trading too.
I put everything in a book because I'm like I can't be there to show you. So I got autism tips, everything I've been through, what to do, what not to do. I got tips on trading because I'm like the way my son was behaving. I'm like nobody's gonna hire you. So I taught him how to trade, and he makes a little part-time income from trading, and so do I. And I teach people how to write a book because I feel like we all should have a book.
We
Like
all
this is
should,
who
but
I am.
I'm going to tell you something about society. Remember what Marcus Garvey said?
Oh
If you
Lord.
want to keep a secret
Oh,
from people, put it in a book. So you're going to have to, there's nothing, listen, a lot of us love to read. There are a lot of us that love to read, but there are a few of us that love to read and get knowledge from a book, but then you got to find a way to tap into people and let them
no,
know about
let me
it
tell you.
and get them
Let me tell
interested in it.
you. Okay, let me tell you. On TikTok, I'm very funny, and I try to use mental illness not to be disrespectful, but make it funny. Then they go to my link in my bio, right? On school, like I talk a lot about caregivers because a lot of the caregivers they need help. Like we're always thinking about the person you're caring for, but what about the caregivers? Nobody's thinking about them. So on school, right? I talk about that. I talk about autism. I talk about what to do when there's a meltdown. I talk about how to advocate for your child, and I talk about how to get help, but the right help, because a lot of people out there helping, but it's not the right help. They want you to come in there because you're gonna get 10,000 each child. They're gonna get that money, but will your child be helped? Okay, good. Another thing is I want to say is autism treatment is not medication. It's ABA. Go check it. ABA is learned behavior. There's a lot of behavior because of their wires being crossed. They don't know. So ABA treatment is what teach them that behavior, and more times than now, they could live a pretty productive life. But the minute you start medicating, oh my God. And if you start medicating and you stop, the government can lock you up. That's for another day. All right.
If you take your kid off of autism medication, oh, well, I guess they consider that child abuse or whatever, right?
That's it. That's it. That's child abuse. Because they make
But isn't
you can't,
but isn't over medicating your child for something that they don't need, isn't that child abuse?
but they didn't know. When
Well,
I
I
first
guess if the
got
doctors and the government say that it's right, then it's supposed to be right. So it's, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to touch that because I get really opinionated on certain things, and that is definitely a discussion anybody wants to have off of the air. We can, but
okay, I get it.
yeah,
My son was diagnosed with ADHD, and then they tell me to give me, some meds and that. And I said no, because I want to give him time to grow. I want to give him time to develop. Then a couple of years later, they said autism. So if I medicated him for ADHD, he would be on the road right now. He wouldn't be working and living on his own and finish school. So that's what I'm saying. There's
yeah.
treatment out there.
They wanted to put my nephew on Ritalin when he was younger. And we were like, what? And they said that he had ADHD, and a lot of they're like, the teacher said, oh, a lot of kids act out because they don't get enough attention at home. But my nephew, they said that he acted out because he got too much attention at home. So it doesn't matter if you show them attention or you don't show them attention, they're gonna yeah, like that made no sense to me. Like, so what are you telling me, that I need to scale back the attention that I give to him?
And I should medicate him for that.
Exactly.
It, Trump is talking about that. If you go on YouTube, and he's saying that he's talking about the vaccine, and it could be possibly the food. Trump is talking about it. It's a
I don't,
big issue.
darling, I don't listen to nothing that man got to say, and I try not to even have a conversation about him because it makes my head hurt.
Yeah, but you got to give him some credit for that. Come
Listen,
on.
I'm Canadian. I ain't got to deal with that. That's y'all's problem. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
have to do.
I forgot.
I got
I
my own
forgot.
clowns to deal with over here.
I'm
I ain't got time
sorry.
for y'all, for y'all's own.
Forgive me,
I just
Patel.
I just pray for all of you guys, and and like telling you guys already that, we can always set up our own little underground railroad. We lacking people here, so we need some more black people in Canada. So y'all want to come through? Okay, yeah, let me stop.
But you know what? You brought up something. There's a lot of people that's like for the cause, because we have a lot of different cause. Target. If you see what happened to Target, we said no. There's a lot of cause, but people don't really pay attention to us until we dead. It was like Marcus Garvey. They're like, Marcus Garvey was for the Star Line, and he was trying to develop a place where a ship where black people can export and import for themselves. But they stoned him to death
Hmm.
because they didn't understand. Malcolm X, they didn't understand him either, and he wasn't about violence. He was just like, well, if you thump me in my face and you keep thumping me in my face, I have to lick your butt because you won't
Exactly.
stop. And then
An eye for an eye, by any
Marcus
means
Garvey,
necessary. I don't blame him.
not Marcus Garvey,
Martin Luther
um,
King. Now you coming to, right?
uh, Bob
Malcolm
Marley.
X. Oh.
Bob Marley sing this Wallapa song. Oh my God, so much prophecy in it, and it never get until him dead. Am I
Because
lying?
the problem with us as a society is this: we don't we do not pay attention to each other. When people are talking, you dismiss it. If you see a person that looks like you and they're saying something, you don't want to hear it. But make somebody be a little bit lighter, and all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, really? You know? We need to
Mm-hmm.
stop that shit. We do. And I noticed, like, in the last few years, it's starting to get better. We're starting to become
Yeah.
more closer as a society and supporting each other a little bit more. Some people,
Mm-hmm.
not everybody. Because what I started to realize is this: right now, it's up to our generation. Because the younger generation, they on this woke shit, and their idea of woke, they have no idea what they're talking about. Because their version
Mm-hmm.
of woke is no, and they're on a selfish tip. Our our parents' generations are oh, you know, they still be worshiping massa. and you can't do this and you can't do that and that looks bad and blah, blah, blah. While our generation, we're going through that. You know what? Fuck it. What can I do for my sister to get my sister there? Let's support each other. Let's do this. Let's
Ah,
do that.
Gen X.
And,
You're talking about Gen X. You're
mm-hmm,
talking about Gen X because the people, the generation now, they don't care. They
exactly.
don't.
No,
They will
I'm
shut
talking
you
about, yeah.
in a minute.
Yeah, no, I'm
Shut
talking
you down.
about yeah. I'm talking about Gen X because I'm the last of Gen X. I'm like, I've just made it
Word
into
of
Gen
mouth.
X. I just made it into Gen X, and yeah, thanks for having me. But but yeah, but the
Yeah.
ones, and I wouldn't even say like Gen X per se, like anybody born between, I would say 1960 and 1990. That clump of people, I would say we are more flocking to helping each other and being there for each other. Anybody born after 1990, no offense to y'all people, but there's some people, not
We're no different.
everybody. There's some, but not everybody. They're kind of, and the kids them that are born after 2000,
Don't even talk about them.
we praying. Listen, and all of mine are born after
Lord of
2000, and I
Jesus.
love my children to death. But yeah, I ain't even Catholic, but the whole, yeah.
Oh my God. Don't even do that.
But you know what? It's up to us. We have to guide and we have to teach and we have got to continue going on our soapbox. And we can't say I'm too old for this shit. No. Right now, we have to continue pushing, and that's why we need places like Lux Radio, where
Mhm.
being the voice of the people, we need to support each other. We need to keep coming together and
Mhm.
supporting each other. And yo, as black people, we need to stop fighting each other against each other, And I'm putting this out to Jamaicans right now. Jamaican people. Jamaicans. I know that the rest of us are like this too, but Jamaicans, here's a message to y'all. You see,
Yeah,
when you
man.
see a store, you go downtown and there's a store, and there's a black man store and a Chinese man store. The Chinese man could be charging $5 more. You're gonna go into the Chinese man store. You need to stop that shit.
Mhm.
Because we are never going to survive as a society if we don't support each other.
That's real.
Let me hop off my soapbox and let's get back to our conversation. But I had to put that out there. Support local farmers, support small business, support black businesses. And I'm not saying that because I'm starting up my own black business and it's gonna be coming out soon. But yeah, Seaberry Naturals, look for us on the shelves and on the stores. I gotta
Plug
plug my
it.
shit. Yeah.
Listen, let me tell you. You know what? You can talk about support, but you have to make it at a price that people can buy it. No, you can't look at people and say, "Boy, she look like she have money," and then you charge her $20 when you're charging the other person $10. You got to be fair all across the board. You understand?
Mm.
Like that's a problem too.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Because the Chinaman is small profit, quick turnover, and that's why.
Exactly.
But we're like, boy, she look like she have money. Let me just something is like
Mm-mm.
$50, and I give to her for $35. She look like a foreigner. That happens to me a lot. And when I see
Oh,
that happening, I just don't buy nothing, man. Because no,
darling, that's why I'm not allowed to talk when we go to stores in Jamaica. I gotta be in the store like, because as soon as I open my mouth, the price goes up by 3.
yeah,
It's like 3 times the
and that's
amount,
not
right?
right.
Which we all need to stop that. We need to stop that thing. And also, one thing I gotta say, friends and family members, stop expecting discounts. We should be the first people that, you know what, if I that Paulette got her book out, right? We as her friends should be the first ones to be going up there and saying, yo, Paulette, how much for your book? And letting people know that Paulette's got the book out there as her friend. Don't expect her to be giving you a free copy because she's your friend and all them
All
things
that
there.
stuff.
I've been there
Beg
and it
people.
sucks. Listen, when I used to work at a hair salon, right? I used to work at a hair salon. And I stopped working there because all them people there, like, as soon as they come there 2, 3 times to your there, all of a sudden they think you're their friend, and they get a discount and this and that and that and that. No, it don't work like that. You see, for me, once I'm in those salon doors, bills gotta pay. You could be my mama. You sit on my chair. You got to pay
Yeah,
the
you
price
have to
that
be,
it is. Yeah,
you have
it's
to be
different.
respectful.
Yeah.
You know,
Like with my
it's
mama, I
different.
tell my mom, I said, if you want your hair done, don't come to the salon to get it done. I'll come to your house when I have free time and do your hair for you because you're my mama. That's different. But
Yeah.
once you're through those salon doors and you sitting in my chair, the price is the price. I don't care who you. I don't care who you is because bills got to pay.
But as a mom, and as a family member, you should.
Mm. Think your internet is acting up again, darling. But yeah, basically what she's saying, like family members,
Something
we
plug
need
out.
to. Yeah,
As a you have to say, okay, she's trying to. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Oh my god! Because it plug out and I have to plug it back in. You have to think about, okay, you know what? I'm gonna support her because she's trying
Hmm.
to do something. She's trying to do something big. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, and I want to talk about men too. Like a lot, I'm having a lot of issues with them. Why you-
Okay. She seems to be having some internet issues, and my time is coming down to an end, so I'm just gonna end it here. But there are, like I said, there I do have a lot of resources that for people with autism. So I want to thank you, Paulette, for coming through and for sharing, for having this conversation with me. And we did get a lot of stuff in.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like,
No problem, hon. Actually, my time is. I just realized, like, it's after 8. My time is actually coming
oh
because there is
wow.
another show after. So
Okay.
yeah, so
Okay.
we're just
Thank
gonna
you
close
so
it
much for
down.
having me. I
Yeah,
appreciate you.
thank you. The conversation was very interested, and you know how you and I get, right? We could go on for
Yeah.
hours, but I want
Yeah.
to thank everybody for tuning in, and I want to thank you, Paulette, for coming in. And you want to let everybody know just before you go where they can find you and find your
Okay.
stuff.
Paulette Bow, TikTok, Paulette Bow, YouTube, or Lotta Hill Mom. My book is on Amazon, Ability In, that's IN, Focus. And I'm going to send you my school link, and that's when you learn about autism and what to do and what not to do. My music is on YouTube and Disco Kid, Take It by Force, and Help Me Help Myself. Thank you for having me. And guys, let's support each other. Let's be patient with each other. We all need it. That's the only thing that we have everything else except patience for each other.
Right. And just so everybody knows, like, I want to thank Paulette again. I want to thank Paulette for coming in, and her conversation about autism and homelessness and stuff like that. That actually helps me segue into my segments for next month. So next month, the month of January, here on Live and Learn with Gemini Goddess, it is going to be focused on nonprofits. So next Friday, my first guest, and I'm excited about it because these are ladies that I've worked with. Are the ladies from Pathways to Promise? They will be joining me here They will be joining me here, and we're going to be giving you guys a little bit of information about Pathways to Promise and having conversation. And every week for the month of January, I'll be having different people from different nonprofits, and they're going to be sharing resources and letting you know what they're doing because I think it is important to highlight the helpers. So we
Mm-hmm.
started off this week with Paulette, who is a helper because she does give a lot of information. She feeds the homeless there in Lauderhill. If
Help out.
Yeah, she lives in Broward County. She does feed a lot of homeless people. She helps them resort with resources. I've seen this girl even go to the hospital and be there with people and be fighting with the hospital people to make sure that they stay in there. She's been helping people to get food. She helps them with resources. She does a lot of things for a lot of people. So my hat goes off to you, Paulette, for what you do. Continue doing you and continue doing your stuff, and don't let anybody stop your shine.
And I
And
have to say, I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you.
thank you. I'm proud of you too for what you're doing, you know?
Keep
So
going.
next week, I will be having Tracy W. and Ray, my partners in Pathways to Promise. They will be here, and it will be a new year. So y'all make sure that when you go out for New Year's, or if you're staying
Mhm.
in, have yourself a very pleasant New Year. And I'll see y'all in 2026. And I'm telling you guys right now, I've been letting people know 2026 is the year of Gemini because I'm focusing on me and what's important to me. And I've been putting the pieces together, and now it's time for me to shine. Have yourselves a good night, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
All right, later, hon. Good night,
All right.
everybody.
Mhm.